Nervous system. Nervous system controls bodily functions, gathering sensory input, integrating that information internally, and communicating proper motor output. The nervous system allows organisms to sense, organize, and react to information in the environment. The basic unit of the nervous system is the neuron. Synapses form between the neurons, allowing them to communicate to neurons or other systems in the body. Sensory neurons collect information and send it to the peripheral nervous system. From peripheral nervous system, it is received by central nervous system. After processing, central nervous system tells the peripheral nervous system what to do, which may include what muscles to flex or which limbs need more blood. Peripheral nervous system then makes it happen through muscle control. Now, central nervous system has two parts, brain and spinal cord. The function of central nervous system is integration and processing of sensory information, and it's synthesizing sensory input to compute an appropriate motor response. Whereas peripheral nervous system is divided into two parts, autonomic nervous system and somatic nervous system. Peripheral nervous system PNS includes a large system of nerves that are linked to the brain and spinal cord. It is comprised of sensory receptors. The process changes in internal and external stimuli and communicate that information to the central nervous system. Autonomic nervous system regulates involuntary actions such as internal organ function and blood vessel movement. Whereas somatic nervous system controls voluntary movements such as those in skin, bone, joints, and skeletal muscle, those which are done by us voluntarily. Gathering sensory information from external stimuli and synthesizing then that information. And finally, response. So central nervous system is thought of as the control center of the body. First portion of the central nervous system called brain is found in the cranial cavity. It consists of cerebrum, that is top portion of the brain, and cerebellum. It houses the nerve centers responsible for coordinating sensory and motor systems in the body. Cerebrum is comprised of two hemispheres. Each hemisphere is divided into four separate lobes: frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe, and temporal lobe. The frontal lobe controls specialized motor control, learning, planning, and speech. Parietal lobe controls somatic, voluntary sensory functions. Occipital lobe controls vision, and temporal lobe controls hearing and some other speech functions. Cerebellum is located underneath the backside of the cerebrum. It governs balance and fine motor movements, and it maintains coordination throughout the body. Brainstem is connected to the underside of the brain. It consists of the midbrain, pons, and medulla. Midbrain is present between hindbrain and forebrain. Midbrain regulates motor function and allows motor and sensory information to pass from the brain to rest of the body. Pons houses the control centers for respiration and inhibitory functions, whereas medulla also helps regulate respiration as well as cardiovascular and digestive function. Reticular activating area is the area present in the brainstem, regulates alertness and consciousness. Next is spinal cord. Spinal cord connects the brain and brainstem to all of the major nerves in the body. Impulses are sent from the receptors through the spinal cord to the brain, and then this data is sent back through the spinal cord to muscles and glands for motor output. Left side is logical side of the brain and right side is the creative side of the brain. Neurotransmitters do lateralization of brain function. It is a tendency for some neural functions or cognitive processes to be specialized to one side of the brain. Language functions such as grammar, vocabulary, they are typically for left hemisphere. Neuroimaging. Two types of neuroimaging exist: structural imaging and functional imaging. Functional imaging is used to diagnose metabolic diseases, and structural imaging will tell us about the anatomy, the anatomical changes. First is EEG, electroencephalography. It is used to show brain activity in states like alertness and drowsiness. This is diagnosis for seizures. PET, positron emission tomography. This scan measures the binding of a radioactive tracer molecule in the brain. MRI, magnetic resonance imaging. It uses strong magnetic fields to align spinning atomic nuclei. Summary: nervous system is divided into two portions, central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Further, central nervous system has brain and spinal cord. Peripheral nervous system has motor neurons and sensory neurons. Motor neurons can be divided into SNS and ANS, somatic nervous system and autonomic nervous system. Somatic nervous system is voluntary and autonomic nervous system is involuntary. Autonomic nervous system has two parts, sympathetic and parasympathetic. That's all for the video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.